Hello, this is Franklin Odo. I'm a visiting professor of American Studies.
Hi everyone, this is Professor Robert Hayashi, Associate Professor of American Studies.
Hi, this is Troy Maxey from the History Department and Department of Asian Languages and Civilizations.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Douglas. I teach in the Department of Law, Jurisprudence, and Social Thought.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Fong. I'm a professor of anthropology.
Hi, my name is Chris Kingston. I'm an economics professor at Amherst.
Hello everyone, my name is Karim Kozuma and I'm the Chief Student Affairs Officer.
Hi, my name is Jun Ishii. I'm a member of the economics faculty at Amherst College.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Samuel Morse. I teach in the departments of Art and the History of Art and Asian Languages and Civilization.
Hi, I'm Brian Besa. I'm in the economics department.
Discriminatory acts simply hurt. I wish they did not exist, or would decrease to zero exponentially, at least.
I don't think there's tremendous comfort in saying that this is all just a blowback against the anxieties produced by the COVID-19 pandemic. I think we all know that these incidences of racism run deeper than that. Even as they surface in the face of novel moments, they still resort to distressingly familiar and hackneyed images and language.
The crisis that's among us now has changed life for all of us. And we know that the Asian community has been especially affected and unfairly scapegoated during this crisis. And it's unfortunate, but we need to grapple with the reality that there are people out there who devalue our Asian students without ever actually reflecting on who they are. And it's a problem that we can't ignore.
I know there is a recent flurry of anti-Asian, anti-Chinese sentiment, scapegoating people of Chinese and Asian descent as a result of people who are insecure, anxious about, and angry about the pandemic. This, unfortunately, has a very long history in the United States, reaching back more than a century.
This is a very difficult time period for all of us. We're all feeling anxious, concerned, fearful, and many of us angry at the mobilization of anti-Asian sentiment that unfortunately runs through the fabric of American life and doesn't take much to be inflamed. And for a lot of you, this may be deeply disconcerting, having never personally experienced these kinds of moments. I unfortunately have.
I want to read you something. When ignorant men are overwhelmed by forces totally beyond their control and their understanding, it is inevitable that they search for some explanation within their grasp. When they are frightened and badly hurt, then they will seek someone on whom they can be revenged. In this case, what was needed was a suitable target for the indignation of the people, preferably a minority group, easily identified, already unpopular, widely scattered, and lacking any powerful protector. This comes from a book called The Black Death by Philip Ziegler. And the Black Death, as many as you know, refers to the bubonic plague that swept through Europe in 1348. And I was reminded of this when I heard about the attacks that have been launched against Asian Americans during our present COVID pandemic.
I started teaching at Amherst in September 2001, just about a week before 9/11. And I remember amidst all the fear and uncertainty at that time, feeling really myself drawn into the Amherst community as I saw people reaching out and supporting each other. But during that time and afterwards, we also saw people's worst impulses brought to light in the form of discrimination against Arabs and against Muslims. And now during this pandemic, again, we're all experiencing fear and uncertainty, and we're seeing many inspiring examples of people helping each other and making sacrifices for the good of others. But there have also been terrible incidents of prejudice, again rooted in fear and ignorance, this time against Asian and Chinese people.
In addition to identifying as a New Yorker, I also identify as Nisei, which in Japanese means second generation Japanese American. My race and ethnicity have always been salient and proud aspects of who I am and how I define myself. Yet during these difficult times like the ones we're living through right now, I feel that hate, racism, and xenophobia can dictate the significance of my identities in ways that I do not wish, sometimes generating fear in me.
The United States has faced an unprecedented crisis with the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet while the crisis is unprecedented, unfortunately the intolerance and the racism that has accompanied it are not. Among many examples, I will make note of one. My late father-in-law, his parents, and brothers and sister were incarcerated at the Topaz Relocation Center in the Utah Desert during World War II, only because they were of Japanese ancestry. The relocation of the Japanese American community was truly abhorrent. One hopes that the country would have learned. All too often, it seems that it has not. I am outraged and deeply saddened that you, your families, and members of the Asian American community who we do not even know have been subjected to racist comments, harassment, and even acts of violence that have no place in a just society.
Now it seems as though there's this heightened global anxiety that's being reflected upon you. That uncertainty has led to confusion to frustration to anger and resentment, and all of that seems to be directed at you, your friends, your family, and your community. It's tough. I went through something like that during the 70s and 80s as a Japanese kid in Texas as well too. Then the experience wasn't really pandemic, but it was still pains caused by globalization. That there were all these companies that used to be prosperous that were now faltering, largely because of foreign competition, and in particular Japanese competition as well too. So I felt some of that resentment being directed at me too, while I was learning who to be.
I hope this turbulent time will provide space and opportunities for people with different backgrounds to exchange with, to learn from, and to understand each other.
I'm hoping that even if Amherst College can't provide you with that physical campus as a safe space, that the larger community can provide a virtual version of that.
I hope you are taking care of yourselves and know that we should not simply sit by, but ask our leaders like Biddy Martin at Amherst College, the president of Amherst College, who has already made a statement condemning such action and asking people to be careful and respect those of us who are of Asian descent.
I don't have a silver bullet, but what I do know is the most radical critique we can level against incidences of racism is to insist upon the value of our diversity, insist upon the value of where we're all from, but also the new communities that we form where we are, that challenge and undermine the premise of racism. I hope that as we all try to overcome the isolation that we have to experience during this difficult time, that you'll also reach out and live into those new communities and new ways of belonging.
This country's strength is that it is made up of people of many faces, people of many races. The virus makes no distinction, and the people that are saving lives and working to find cures are as diverse as the people who are falling sick. It is the selflessness of all people who are doing their part to solve this crisis that gives me hope that the United States can change, even if that change seems slow and at times hard to find.
One thing that I think is important to note in this moment is that this is not something that Asians have sat back and accepted. We have relied upon each other in pan-ethnic coalitions of support. Chinese specifically fought measures like their exclusion from American society in terms of immigration, public services, throughout American history. And so part of that legacy is one of disenfranchisement, but part of that legacy is one of enduring these moments, of demanding of American society our full participation and recognition. And I hope that in these moments, that history gives you some strength, the ability to endure this crisis.
Like the virus itself, hate can be viral. It can spread. But also by summoning our better selves, we can stop the spread of hatred. And we can, to kind of use a parlance which is going around right now these days, we can hopefully establish our own herd immunity against it. Hate, I don't think, can be eliminated. But again, like the virus itself, it can be controlled, and we can control it by summoning our better selves.
What has sustained me through these difficult times, and I hope it can sustain you, is community. Even though we're not physically together, we are together in so many ways. The staff and faculty are here for you, even if it means it's a Zoom call or a phone call. Through these connections, I'm reminded about the strengths and beauty of what it means to be Asian, Asian American, and Pacific Islander. I hope you are reminded as well.
I am trying to incorporate more of the pandemic-related issues into my research and my teaching. I hope that you can find something to do that gives meaning to your lives in this very challenging time as well.
And I think the best response we can make is just to continue to show that we care about and value every member of our community, and that we're going to get through this together.
Despite all that negativity, I also hope that our Asian students at Amherst know that their presence is important and meaningful to our community. We see you, we appreciate the diversity of ways that you contribute to our campus.
The United States must do better, and you are an essential part of that effort. I've been at Amherst a long time. I remember when a group of Asian American students began a tutoring program to teach a newly arrived Cambodian family English so they could become part of the American experience. In fact, 2 of that family are now working at Amherst College today. I remember the first student protest to demand that the Asian American experience become part of the curriculum. I remember when a group of Asian American students insisted that there be an exhibition on the Japanese American internment to remind the college that John McCloy was a controversial figure. I feel privileged to remain in touch with the students who participated in these events, and I am grateful that you are continuing to make the college community aware of the challenges that the Asian American community continues to face. While we are separated because of the coronavirus, I urge you all to stay connected with each other and with the wider college community, and I look forward to seeing you in person when we can all reassemble on campus. Stay safe.
If you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. I hope you and your family are safe and healthy.
I miss you guys. I hope that you're all staying safe and that you and your loved ones are well. I miss having you in class. I miss running into you around campus. And I'm really looking forward to us all being back together again soon.
So my best wishes for you and your loved ones, for your health and safety, and for finding meaning in the craziness of this time.
I think the only comfort that I can convey is that we see you, and we see the pain that racism produces, and that we will continue to endeavor to forge a community based on diversity, based on new and creative ways of belonging. I really hope to see many of you back on campus before too long, and I know the insecurities and uncertainties will continue for a while, but please do know that you are all in our thought.
I want to send you my encouragement, my good wishes for health, for all of you, for those whom you love and care about. I wish for you, and again, all of your loved ones, the best, and I hope to see all of you very soon back here at Amherst. Be well.
I'm here to support. I hope you too.
When I reflect on the most rewarding experiences that I've had here at Amherst, many of them involve the Asian American and international students from Asia that I've been able to work with. They make my classroom a richer, lively, and more joyful place. And we as a campus will continue to work and ensure that you have a home here in our classroom, in our community. We at Amherst, we recognize that your creativity and energy go into making this place a great place. So thank you.
It looks like we may not see each other for a while, so take care, stay safe, and be well. Thank you. Bye.
I will understand if you have to take some escapes from time to time. And you want some advice on escapes? You should do what I did as a kid during the 70s and 80s. What did I do? I read Japanese comics and Japanese handheld video games. Incredible stuff. Japanese comics, if you want a recommendation, my recommendation is the original One Punch Man. Not the rebooted slick action one, but the original one. Requires you to be able to read Japanese, but I've been basically binge reading the old issues recently. And in terms of Japanese video games, these existed even during the 80s when I was a kid as well too. But one of the things I promised myself is if I've been a good boy and I've done all my work this spring, then I get to actually open this. I hear that Animal Crossing and Legend of Zelda is really good on that. So in short, be well, be safe, continue on that journey of self-discovery, and 気をつけてね。頑張れ!